All right, here we go. What's going on, everybody? Eric Bourassa here, and we are on track 8 of Third Eye Blind's self-titled album, learning how to play all the guitar parts. We are now on Burning Man. I love this song. There's not that many parts, but the main part of is kind of tricky. So before we get started, we are in open D tuning. So we're gonna go D, A, D, F sharp, A, and D. A beautiful open D chord. So we start with this riff. Check this out. Okay, so a lot of times when I'm learning a song, I like to count the music, and it helps me like to count the beats. Not for this one. On this one, I recommend just feeling it, which is kind of weird. So we're gonna hit an open D, and then we're gonna hold 7 on the second string with the index finger and 8 on the third string with the second finger. Whoo, that's a lot to think about. And then we're going to put the ring finger, the third finger, on the 9th fret of the second string. And that third finger just lifts off and comes back. Okay, several times. So we have open D, and then we hit strings 3 and 2. And I strum it like down, up, down, up, down. So we have open like that. Okay, nice and slow. And then we immediately go to this 9th fret power chord. Since this is like a drop D power chord, you're going to hit 9 on string 6 and 5, or 6, 5, and 4, like that with the index. And then you're going to do this little 3-string bar across the first 3 strings with the third finger on the 12th fret, down, up. So all together. So we have down on open, down, up, down, and then 2 downs on the 9s, and then down, up on the 12s. Okay? I would practice that first by itself. Then, for the next bit, I would actually practice this kind of overlap. This is something my guitar teacher, my classical guitar teacher, taught me in college, is to not just play this measure, then this measure, but practice playing the beginning of one measure into the start of the next, and then back up a little bit, and then play over. So you're never just playing one chunk. You're always connecting the two, if that makes sense. So we're going to start from the 12 now, which is where we ended before. We're going to go down, up, and then down with the mute, and then up on the open first 3 strings, roughly, and then down on open 4. So we have... I don't even really hit the that mute. I really just kind of block. I just kind of kill the strings. But you can do it like that. Down, up, mute, down, up. That's kind of tricky. Okay, that's what you got. It's like 4 16th notes in a row. Da 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 do. And then an 8th note. Okay, and then it just starts over. So we have... like that. And then that's where this begins again. And you immediately, when you hit that open D, that open D is where you start the strumming thing again on the next thing. So that's what's kind of confusing about this a little bit. So the first time through, you hit the open D on the down on beat 1, but then after that, it's always on the and of 1. And then you're going to kick on the distortion that 4th time through. Right after that part, you're going to go 4, 4, 5. So power chord F sharp, and then power chord G. Right? Since we're in drop D, just 4s and just 5s. Kick on the distortion for that, and then immediately kick it back off, and then you're in the verse. if you can play this verse, all the work is done, okay? Because then after that, it's pretty easy. We get at the end of the second verse, we get this pre-chorus that is just a bar across 5. Right? So what's happening is bar across 5, and then we add the 7 on the first string, and then we go back to the 5, and then we go up to 9 on the first string with the pinky. That's your pre-chorus. And then in the second verse, we in between that first pre-chorus and the second verse, when you do this, we have that little fill. So it's just a hammer from 11 to 12 on the first string, and then you hit 12 on the second string, right? So we've got... I only hit that 9 once. Oh my gosh. Probably I used fingers 2 and 3, I think. Yeah, I used the first finger on that power chord, 9, and then second finger to third finger on the 11, 12, and then third finger on 12 on the second string. Kind of like that, right? And like I'm kind of realizing now why I love that little 3-note pattern so much. If you've listened to any of my songs, then you've probably heard that a lot. Some combination of those 3 notes, and I think it goes all the way back to this album, and I never even realized that I was doing it because I didn't learn most of the songs from this album until I was an adult, but I think it just embedded its way in there, and I liked the sound, and it found a way into my music. Anyway, okay, cool. And we do another pre-chorus, and after that we get to our chorus. So our chorus goes like this. And then after the chorus, I might be slightly out of tune there. That low D might be just a little out. But also, by the way, if you're going to play along with the recording, if you play in open D 440, you're going to sound slightly out of tune. You either need to detune just a little bit more or tighten the strings just a little bit in order to play with the recording. So if you think you sound out of tune when you're in open D playing with the recording, that's because they're either a little lower or a little higher than pitch. So anyway, let's break down that chorus, right? So we've got open, D5 power chord, and then we add this 4 on the 4th string, really nice and pretty. I just hit it twice. And then we're gonna do this 5th fret power chord. And then as a transition, we do an open on the first couple of 2-3 strings. And then the second time through, instead of the 5, you go to 7. Everything else is the same. And then after the chorus, you just do the 4 and the 5, the F sharp to the G. And I can't get enough until my legs are broken. That's it. That's the whole song. So that's Burning Man by Third Eye Blind. Oh, let me know what you think. Have you learned this song before? Have you already played it? Let me know if this was helpful, if you got it, if you got the rhythm, if you got the feel of the song. And then, of course, after this, we're going to do, I think, what is it, Good For You? The transition from Burning Man to Good For You is one of the coolest transitions of any album ever. I love it so much. Hey, if you dig this, I've got a guitar course that I'm working on, and I'd love for you to join my email list. So check the link in the description. You can go to ericbourassa.com, and you can be kind of among the first to get access to this life-changing digital guitar product. And then, of course, like and subscribe. Check out my other Third Eye Blind videos and the other things that I do. Okay, bye.